All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. I was thinking
can
that.
Can you make it wicked?
I was trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear that from me.
No, come on. Come on.
Weekly watch. Noah's crawling under the desk. So
Let me tell you something.
Why would you?
No, because you took that in a different direction. I thought you were gonna do like a little weekly watch report. Let's see what we're watching. Like kind of like doing it to the tune of a song.
No, I went
and
opera.
You went opera. I did not think you were gonna go opera.
I was having fun until I looked across me and saw this man crouched under his desk.
Did almost, which is funny because you have headphones on, so there was no escaping it.
No,
like he leaned over like he wasn't going to be able to hear it. He has headphones on.
And like the face he was making was like making me like want to delete the whole podcast. You know?
I was thinking like
I hate when my light gets dimmed.
Weekly watch report on a Monday.
You should do it then.
Can we do it together? Let's do it together. Give me your fingers. Let's do it together. Weekly watch report on a Monday. Weekly watch report on a Monday.
Weekly watch report.
Beautiful.
On Monday. Whatever.
Beautiful. If you're still here, we'll talk about what we watched.
You know what? I don't even care if like people get upset.
I thought that was beautiful.
You know what I mean? I'm just having fun.
I
tell myself when I get upset about the criticism.
What are two girls supposed to do the day after seeing Wicked but not want to sing?
What are you supposed to do when you don't have any talent but you enjoy singing? Mm-hmm. Am I not supposed to sing?
No.
Yes.
No.
You're right. We're supposed to keep going and enjoy life.
Yep.
Enjoy the things in life, even if you're bad at it. I don't tell people who are bad knitters that they should fucking stop.
Do you have someone in mind?
No. It was just
that was just like a very specific.
Yeah.
It was just a thought I had. Singing of people's hobbies.
But guess what? She's seen a lot of bad knitting in her day. She's never commented on it once.
I don't tell people if you're a bad painter, stop painting.
Yeah. It's artistic expression.
Right. Express yourself. Mm-hmm. Express yourself. Okay. Anyways, I'll stop now. After Noah tried to dim my light. Can never be dimmed.
Cannot.
Especially after Wicked. I watched My Old Ass on Prime.
Mm-hmm. Prime Video.
The ending of this movie, I was not okay.
Yeah, I saw that it was a tearjerker. I'm gonna watch it this week. It's on my list, like high up.
No, it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna rip you apart.
Oh God.
I
can't.
It like seriously like. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
What's the premise?
Instant tears right now.
It just was like.
It's like Aubrey. It's a young girl and then she's visited by her older self.
Like it's like a time travel type thing.
I don't think they time travel.
No, they take a bunch of shrooms.
Yeah.
And she is presented with her older self, her 39-year-old self. And she is about to graduate high school, go to college. And Aubrey Plaza plays her older self. And she's basically like trying to teach her, like, avoid this, avoid that. Like, don't do that, you know, like trying to say, like, take a different path.
Yeah.
I have chills. Honestly, I don't want to spoil it. Because,
No, I'm gonna watch it. But I heard it was fantastic. Fantastic. The way my Invisalign just hit fantastic was tough. Fantastic.
I'm glad you did that because I was like on the verge of crying, and then you said, and then you
fantastic,
and then you said that, and now no longer am I crying.
Yeah, good.
But I'd recommend it. It's like it teaches you a lesson, kind of, but it is sad. But it is, you know, they're supposed to be happy, but
yeah,
really, it's for something.
One of those.
You know, my biggest fear. It's, you know.
Yep, one of those.
So, I'll give it a B+. Because I will say there were like in the middle where I was like,
fair.
you know, but the ending really pulled me back in.
Yeah.
It really fucking pulled me right back in. So I watched that. There's a new Cruel Intentions show on Prime.
I heard about this.
Love Cruel Intentions, the movie.
Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, never seen it.
Oh my God,
That's
a
one of the ones I've
classic.
never seen. I know. Ryan Felipe, right?
Ryan Felipe and Reese Witherspoon. That's where, you know, that's how they come together.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, and this is going to be straight up mean, you know, let's hold space for mean comments in this podcast.
Yep.
If
Let's
you're
hold
going to
space for being a bitch.
yes, exactly, Fran.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do Cruel Intentions, you better have a guy that can emulate the kind of charisma that Ryan Felipe put off. I'll leave it at that.
He's not doing it.
Not at
doing
all.
it. Okay.
I'll read my text with my sister because my sister is the biggest Cruel Intentions fan.
Yeah.
The biggest Ryan Felipe. Like literally since we started this job, she's been like, "Can you interview Ryan Felipe?" Like she's obsessed with Ryan Felipe. I texted her last night, and I'm gonna like censor some of my. Cause I don't want to be that much of a bitch,
Right.
But I said, this guy. No. The gist of the text messages were like, this guy in Cruel Intentions is not as hot as Ryan Felipe. And she wrote, "Don't get me started. It's been bothering me since Thursday. They're not even comparable." And I wrote, "I'm low-key, like, not as interested." And she wrote, "I'm not even low-key. I'm 100% uninterested. I stopped watching at episode 2 because I was so mad. I don't know how they could do this." The "I don't know how they could do this" text was so fucking funny to me. I don't know how they could do this. And she just said, "I just don't get how you don't cast an extreme heartthrob. This guy makes me feel weird." Which was making me laugh because she really is like the biggest Ryan Felipe Cruel Intentions fan. But that's just going to happen, I think, when you have like such an iconic movie like that and then you have a show.
Yeah.
I'm still interested in the show, but it's just like the guy to me doesn't have that certain je ne sais quoi that this role kind of, I mean, but who am I to say? The casting directors, the director, they all chose him.
Yeah.
They all chose him. I'm sure hundreds of actors auditioned and they chose this guy. So clearly he has something that they were appealed to.
Yeah.
Me, not so much.
I had that issue with what was the show that everybody told me to watch?
The Walter Brothers?
No.
My Life with the Walter Bros?
No, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
No,
I
Lady
remember
Jane.
Lady Jane, yes.
And I was like, this is not gonna cut it.
I remember you
It's
said
not
that
gonna
to
cut
me. You were like, this is going to sound mean.
This is not gonna cut it.
But this guy's not going to cut
It's
it.
not gonna cut it for me. Yeah. And I thought I would go back and finish that show, and I have not. So I never went back to it after watching the first 3 episodes.
And like you said, this is called holding space for being a bitch. And then we move along and we get a little bit nicer. But Cruel Intentions, I'm not deep enough to grade it yet. I literally watched the first episode and was so distracted by texting my sister that I can't give it a proper grading. What else did I watch? Wiccan. I'll give it an A+. What am I going to be shy about it?
Yeah. Beat around the bush.
What am I, beat around the bush?
Yeah.
Just straight up, it's an A+.
You gotta go where your heart desires.
Am I trying to find something wrong with it? No, I thought it was an A+.
I agree. It's an A+ for me too. It really is.
A+.
I try to think like, could I be a little more critical? Sure. Because here I go, and I'm bringing up Gia again, but she gave it a 4 on her letterbox.
You know what? I saw that.
And I texted her and I went, a 4?
Friend, you know what I did? I swear to God.
Yeah.
After I saw that on her story, I Googled how many stars can you give on Letterboxd? Because I had I don't have Letterboxd.
4 has got it. In my head, I said 4 must be the highest.
And that's what I said. I said, well, 4. I said, what a weird grading system.
I said, wow, they go 1 through 4? Because when we walked out of the movie, she was like, that was amazing. She only had great things to say when we came out of the movie.
She posted on her story, it was 1,000 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I had the same thought. I thought,
yeah.
Oh my God, Letterboxd is 1 through 4? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever happened to 1 through 5?
I think people get a fucking letter. And once again, she's not here to defend herself, so sorry, Gia. But I think that some people get get a fucking letterbox and they think they're the New York Times movie critic.
They
Because
become a movie critic.
I texted her and I said, a 4? We were raving about the movie. She said she thought it was a little too long and that there were some scenes that were a little too cheesy. And then she felt that it was, which is funny because there was this criticism on Twitter. I saw it. I just don't have that eye. Like I just, visually to me, I thought it was spectacular. She was like, I thought it was like not like colorful enough. Like it just like was like a little dull. Like she was like this set, like she wasn't blown away by the set.
You can also give a half star.
what?
She could have given it 4.5.
No,
right?
I know. She went full down to 4.
I'm nauseous.
No, I know. I said I
literally
couldn't
nauseous.
keep going with that.
Because I can't believe we both looked up the letterbox thing. Because I truly was like,
No, she loved it. She said she loved it.
She put 1,000 out of 10 on her story, and then you give
But
it a
this is
4.
where- this is
How
where
do you
I'm
give
like-
it 1,000 out of
Right.
10? That means you'd give it 1,000 out of 5.
Right, but this is where everybody's a fucking like
Everybody's a critic. Everybody knows the best.
a critic. She said she wasn't super duper impressed visually. She
John
said, I don't know.
M2 knows more.
She said I don't know if it was a screen, but I wish it was brighter.
What?
Now John had a response because people online were saying this
To Gia?
not to Gia. People online were
The
saying
way I dropped my what?
No. People online were saying that they did feel like the movie was desaturated, that this like wasn't as bright.
People are expecting like Barbie.
Yeah, maybe. I think in fake world, I don't know. And his response was, there's color all over it. I think what we wanted to do was immerse people into Oz to make it a real place. Because if it was a fake place, if it was a dream in someone's mind, then the real relationships and the stakes that these two girls are going through wouldn't feel real. So he wanted to make it seem like a real world, but at the same time, obviously, like it is fake. But I get what he was trying to say.
Let me tell you something.
He didn't want to make the movie look like a dream.
I like that.
And
don't
I
even
like
see
that
it.
vision.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I didn't think about the lighting for not a millisecond.
Not a second. Not
of
1
that
second.
Movie.
No, not 1
And
second.
you know what? Can I just say?
Not 1 second.
That is proof that the older ladies that we are,
Yeah.
it's nice to be a little naive to the internet.
Yeah.
Because Gia is spending too much time on TikTok reading every criticism that people have to offer, and then you see it and then you
It's-
start thinking it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't even a thought in my brain.
That's what I said. I just had to go off my gut reaction when I walked out of that theater and I was floored.
Gut reaction A+.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean, and I said it on the last podcast, but people root for bad things. They want to nitpick a little movie critic. What
Yeah,
can we
yeah.
fucking take apart from this movie? Me and you, we're not movie critics.
No.
We see art, we respect art, we give it an A+.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
that. I didn't
agree.
think a second about the lighting.
Neither did I.
I'm upset that people are upset about the lighting.
I will say,
I am.
yeah, I think like we saw it on I think I maybe need to see it on a bigger screen. I will give her that criticism that it was like it was a 1 p.m. on Sunday, like smaller.
IMAX or
no.
Oh.
It was just a normal laser AMC screening.
Okay.
So the screen was, but but truly would have never crossed my mind.
That's so funny. That was 1,000 out of 10. Amazing, but a little desaturated, so you lose a star.
A full star. She knocked off a full star.
I couldn't believe it was a 4.
Should I get her in here right now?
I don't know. I think it might make me upset.
yeah.
I don't want to have to fight with her.
I know. We stopped talking about it last night.
If you want to bring her in here, but it's not going to be good.
I know. Let me
I'm
see if I can
going to be
call-
upset.
Well, let's just see if she was in the office before, but let's just see.
Hello?
Hey, are you recording?
No, why?
Can you come into the Chicks in the Office studio for a second? Rhea and I want to question you on your 4 out of 5 stars for Wicked.
Okay, sounds good.
So I just want to start off with one question because I said this on the podcast, so I want to say it to your face.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
Yep.
Do you feel like maybe spending time on TikTok or Twitter
Okay.
and seeing the criticism that people have towards the movie
Yeah.
have directly infected your brain of the criticism you have, particularly the lighting comment?
I would say more so actually the longer scenes than the lighting. I think honestly from the trailer was the first thing I noticed was the lack of color, in my opinion. not that I didn't think it was colorful. I just thought that it was a little dull.
But do you get what John M. Chu is saying when he says he wanted it not to feel like a dream world?
But it is. It's a fake world.
But
It's a
not
movie.
for them.
It's real for them.
It's not for them. It's real for the girls.
Okay, but
It's real for us.
Okay, no,
But they're not watching themselves.
Our joke was funny because I said you posted on your story like 1,000,000 out of 10, and then you slapped it with a 4. And I
well,
said,
a 4 is still really high.
But if you do 1,000 out of 10, that's more than a 5.
I mean, that's at least a 4.5.
I think maybe that was
and honestly, me and Fran both had the same thing happen to us.
Do you think
we
that you have to be artsier on Letterboxd when you do your grading? Because people are artsier on Letterboxd.
Good question.
That they're all they're
well,
all
you are talking
critics.
to a film studies and documentary production minor,
Yep,
so
okay.
I
I also
have
went to- I also
been
went to school for
artsy
film.
since day one.
I went to
okay?
school for film.
I have been
I dropped out, but I went to school.
I've been critiquing film since a young age. But no, I still think 4 stars is very high for a movie to be 5 stars for me. That has to be basically perfect.
But you said 1,000 out of 10.
Exactly.
That's just an exaggeration.
But I'm holding on to the 1,000 out of 10, and so much so, Fran and I had the same thing.
We're
where
holding
we both,
space for the 1,000.
We are, and we had to.
Thank God.
And we had to Google how many
both-
stars you can
we
give on
actually
Letterboxd.
both looked up.
I
when
looked
you
it up.
posted 4, I said I Googled is 4 the highest amount of stars you can give on Letterboxd.
I googled how many
No,
stars.
5 is.
5 is.
How many
yeah.
stars can you give on Letterboxd? And when I saw that it was 5, because I thought, wow, what a weird grading system.
Okay, well, I didn't say 1,000,000 out of 10.
Yeah.
So like,
Well,
that,
I mean,
like,
all I'm saying is 1,000 out of 10 and 4 out of 5 stars do not translate to the same grade.
I don't know. I think
agree.
from an
I
initial
fully
reaction
agree.
standpoint, I was so great that I was like, "Whoa, this movie's so good." And then when I kind of was like thinking about like how I was feeling during the movie, because like, you know, you come out and it's right after Defying Gravity, so you're like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
what a scene!" Blah blah blah. And then when I was walking home on my bike, just, you know, thinking about the movie as a whole, I felt like Ariana Grande, like she was amazing, show-stopping.
Yep.
She just looked a little washed out to me, like her skin tone with her hair and
So
her
you're
outfits.
really you're
That takes a full
just
star?
you're on the
But in
saturation.
the whole, even
you're on
the
the saturation
Emerald
train.
City, the Munchkin Land, like everything about it just seemed a little less extravagant than I expected it to be. I think.
But isn't
Like the Emerald City to me kind of looked like a bunch of hullabaloo. Like there wasn't really any.
Hullabaloo, she said.
I can't believe the words coming out of her mouth.
Hullabaloo, she said.
Oh my God.
I know.
Listen,
I'm sick.
But here's the thing, like that's why I
can't-
thought
I was
it
just
was
looking at
also
my Google
great.
searches of Letterboxd.
there are scenes in the movie in which I thought this is unnecessary. Let's move on here a little bit.
But I thought they were so quick, where it's like,
Like
a
the
great,
yellow brick road, like really, we're going purple,
I told you,
blue,
that's what she said.
green.
I already, we're repeating
Ooh, the
ourselves a
yellow,
little
that
bit.
has a nice tone to
What
it.
a- what a-
Fucking cut that scene.
What
Why?
a nitpicky.
You know, everybody-
What a little nitpicky response.
You know,
to a beautiful
everybody
scene.
loved that. You know, everybody loved that line from Ariana. Everybody's talking about that. I think they said she ad-libbed that. That it's just like when she says,
It was so
it's
Glinda.
it's like it's road. That's whatever she says
Yeah.
about the yellow being road. Everybody fucking loved that line.
It was so
But
Glinda.
also think about
Well,
how
God
long
forbid
that scene.
someone has a criticism.
Well, think about how long that scene really was. A minute.
yeah, and it was 2 hours and 34 minutes. It would have been better if it was 2 hours and 32.
It was 2 hours and 40.
Yeah, it was a long movie.
It was a long movie, but the length did not bother me at all.
No, I agree. I just felt like there were certain scenes where I
Now-
was like, that wasn't necessary.
Now
to
I'm gonna
the
repeat
plot.
I'm gonna repeat myself. So Noah, maybe your editing skills is gonna have to come into play here a little bit, but the length, I said that like when you go to see a musical on Broadway, there doesn't have to be as much dialogue.
Yeah.
But when you watch a movie musical, people are so critical of movie musicals because there's so many people who go see it who like are expecting a movie.
Yeah.
That they put more dialogue in, and that's gonna make for a longer movie.
That's true. That's very true.
You
I
know,
get
because if
that.
it was all just singing like it is mostly in the musical more
Yeah.
vibes, people will be like too much singing.
yeah, I get that. at the same time, you got to know what you're getting into with the movie musical. Like, they
Yeah, of
sing.
course. I think the reason
but I
that
do
at the
like
end of the
Joe-
day, I think the saturation should have deserved a quarter of a star
It's
knockoff.
not just saturation. It's like just the color grading in general.
I'm more just thrown off by the 1,000 out of 10 story into a 4.
Yeah.
Well, we're
right.
on the weekly watch report, so what would you give it as a letter grade?
Oh God.
A minus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Okay.
gave it an A+.
You guys don't understand. A 4 on Letterbox is very, very
we
high.
wouldn't understand.
We're not on Letterboxd.
You're not on Letterboxd.
We're not on
We wouldn't
Letterboxd.
understand.
I don't. We don't watch as many films.
You guys don't critique
She is like,
film
let
the
me
way
put
that
this
I
in
do.
simple terms for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
Let me.
She was like, let me
tell
get
you,
down. Dummies.
For you uncultured swine who just see a movie musical and say that's good.
All it takes is 5 seconds to download the app. Okay,
Yeah.
that's and all it takes is for
I
you
just
to be
was
on the
thrown
same-
off by it. So your people on Letterboxd who follow you on Letterboxd, they're not
What's the-
following you on Instagram to see you put 1,000 out of 10.
What's
and
the
then
average?
and then they're like, she's
But
she-
don't,
Yeah,
do
you're
you
trying
not
to
understand
knock
what I'm saying? Like the Defying Gravity scene was so phenomenal that you walk out of the theater and your initial thought is like, "Whoa!" And then you kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Like that was so great.
I'm still flying high. I'm defying gravity still today.
So am I.
Yeah.
No, you guys aren't. No, I don't want people
Look
to
to
think
the
that
Western-
I didn't like the
look
movie.
to the
I
Western
fucking
sky.
loved
No,
the
you
movie.
loved the movie.
I
No, you
did
cried
love the
the
movie.
entire
She
time.
She cried the whole.
From the first line of Glinda coming down in the bubble, I literally was crying my eyes out when she goes, "Oh, like some can say we were friends." I literally was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm not okay." Like
Yeah.
this was a phenomenal movie. I just can't wholeheartedly give it 5 stars
Yeah.
because I just had some critiques.
These critiques are for John.
Me and John need to have a sit down conversation.
Because let me tell you, I
one-on-one.
wonder if the problem would have been fixed with just a little switch of a dial.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
If they just took that saturation from a 1 to a 1.5,
even
would it have been a little brighter?
I just, no, I thought the movie was phenomenal. There's
so good.
only I want to say 2 to 3 movies that I've ever given 5 stars. One of them, off the top of my head, Interstellar, Little Women.
Yeah.
Those are untouchable, perfect to a T.
Greta
Little
Ger-
Women
Greta-
is such a long movie.
Greta
though.
Gerwig's Little Women.
And
Greta
I
Gerwig,
love
yeah.
I love Little Women, but Little
never-
Women is also very long.
I never had an issue of the length. It was just certain scenes that I felt was unnecessary that was adding to, like, I love a 2-hour movie, a 3-hour movie. I you know, Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan movies are an average 2 hours. I just felt like there was some
There was some
unnecessary
fluff.
tidbits. Yes, some fluff that was added where I was like, I get it. It's a movie. You want to add in things that like
Yeah.
are funny, some dialogue that is interesting. You know, how did they get the yellow brick road?
Yeah.
Here is a little fluffy story about that. I just didn't think it just didn't do anything to me. It kind of just made me think like, all right, like let's get to the good, you know? Let's get to the fucking, so if you dare to find me, you know? So
Look, it didn't bother me at all. It didn't bother us.
I'm with you,
and that's
honey.
the beauty of opinion, and that's
Yep,
the
yep,
beauty of
yep.
film critique as one film studies person to
Yeah,
another.
so true.
Yep.
so true.
That's the beauty
If we
of
can't
America.
hold space for these kinds of conversations, what conversations can
No,
we
exactly.
have?
so true.
You know?
As people who work in media, you know, I've seen a
Yeah.
few posts about the saturation for sure.
Uh-huh.
But
it was enough that John was asked about it directly.
it was a big people were talking about it a lot. And
Yeah.
I honestly, it was from the trailer, and it was honestly Ariana with her clothes and her hair and the trailer where I was like,
right.
something just seems a little dull.
It's hard to not look washed out in baby pink and have blonde
Very
hair,
true.
though. You know?
Very true.
It's-
But like a little spray tan would have helped. But she stole the show for me beyond
was so good.
words.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing. Like I had not mid, but a little not too high of expectations for her. I thought Cynthia was going to be like, you know,
Yeah.
and Ariana just brought the house down. Popular is like now my favorite song because,
Yeah.
and I didn't really even like that one out of all these songs. So
yeah. Okay, Gia,
So that's
thank
my-
you.
yeah.
Yes,
Yep,
thank you.
Yep. That's
Please,
right. You
no
know, she
hate.
did end up giving. We said she gave it an I-. It's,
Yeah,
it's
that's a high
fantastic. It's a
score.
great grade.
We just were shocked.
I was in between an A and A plus, but you know what? I got to go with my heart.
And your heart's saying plus.
Yep.
Everyone has a right to their opinion.
This is the thing. They do. And I also like, there's certain things that bother certain people that just would never bother me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Unless it was so blatantly in my face, or like the color thing, I don't have that kind of eye. It just would not bother me.
Yeah, maybe that's an us thing. Maybe that's an us problem.
Unless the movie started out quite literally in black and white, and I was like, oh, they should probably add some color into this.
Maybe it's not even.
Yeah,
a thing.
Right.
Maybe it's a problem
maybe,
we have.
Right.
Maybe we're.
And look, there could be a lot of listeners out there who are like, Gia's so right. Like I had that same thought.
And I'm sure there will be.
And they will. Once again, there was enough people that thought that John was asked about it in an interview.
I just wanted to know if that was a genuine complaint of hers or if she just saw it online.
Right.
And I think it was a genuine complaint.
I think, no, it really was. Because I will say, she sent that text about the color like right after we saw the movie. So I was, and then then in my head, I was trying to like go back and think about it. And I was like, okay, here's the thing, like I see it. I see what she's saying. It is not like in your face, bright. But that was a creative choice.
And now that
was a John M. Chu creative choice to not have it be that bright.
And I honestly feel it adds, like he said, but like it feels more human emotion. Like I feel like we're able to relate to them more.
Yep.
And have those moments of tears and whatnot because of the realness it creates.
Right.
But that's our opinion, and many people are going to agree with Gia. I do feel that as well.
We talked about Wicked so much today.
We did. Okay, I'll move on because I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Oh, was that the last thing?
I think I've been watching Veep. Still, I'm on season 4.
Oh, amazing. Love it?
Love it. So
great. Okay.
Hilarious.
I didn't watch too much TV this week, actually, either. Movie week, since, went to see Wicked, A+. I watched Gladiator for the first time. Never seen it.
The first Gladiator.
Never seen it.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, Gladiator 2, all the hype and whatever. And I know there's like, you don't have to see Gladiator to see Gladiator 2. So I've been told. But I was like, oh, I've never seen Gladiator. And Joe wanted to watch it. So I watched it. Good movie. I get it. I don't know.
I would say a great movie.
I've heard not so good things about Paul
Mescal.
Really?
I've heard not great things about.
I've heard
Gladiator
not
2
great
in
things
general.
about the movie and not great things about Paul
I
Mescal.
heard Denzel carries.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. Is that it's kind of, I don't know. I have to see it to really give more of an opinion, obviously, because I don't like. Is the story?
I heard that it's basically just the same
Just
movie
the same story?
and just not nearly as good. And there's just so many like callbacks to the first one, but it's just like, what was the point of this?
I feel like we went to go get lunch with Robbie Fox yesterday, and he is such a movie guy.
Yeah,
and I trust who he's hearing from.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
was saying that he hasn't heard great things about Gladiator too.
Look, I think for me, like the first Gladiator, it was. I think it's just one of those movies where it is so acclaimed and so discussed that I had not seen it, but I felt like I had seen it. Does that make sense? Like from discussion and people talking about it, like I knew what happened. I knew the story.
Russell Crowe,
I knew
Phoenix.
like there was no like surprises to me. Like I just knew. So going into it, it's tough because the movie came out 25 years ago. So it's like I've seen all the discussion about it, and I will say I'm not a massive like blood and gore fan, and
it's not too gory, is it?
It's pretty gory.
I saw it a long time ago.
It's pretty gory.
I don't really remember.
No, it's a fantastic movie. I would give that like Gladiator gets like an A-. Like it's a great movie.
Are you giving it a higher grade because you're afraid to give it a lower grade?
No.
I was just about to say, was the color the problem?
No.
It would have been
and I'm not, because I just think I'm giving it a grade that I would give it if I like hadn't known everything that happens in it before watching it, if that makes sense. Because it was like I just knew the story. I knew what happened. I knew how it ends for him. Like I knew, and it just kind of watching it for the first time, it's harder to fully get that experience. But I would understand otherwise. And I think it's tougher now too, watching a movie like that comes out 25 years ago, because a lot of the like special effects don't seem as great, I would say. But I can respect it for the movie that it is.
It's interesting. The first one has an 80 on Rotten Tomatoes, and this second one has a 72. So it's not like
Yeah, right. It's not like
uh,
It won Best Picture though, right?
did it?
I thought it did. Okay. What else did I watch? Oh, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, it did.
It did, yeah. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, up to date. I'll give it a B. It's enjoyable. I've been liking Salt Lake. I've been liking this city season. I keep repeating myself, I feel like, because there isn't anything over the top to talk about. But these ladies just can't stop fighting. Like, they just can't stop fighting over the silliest things. Mary hosting this Audrey Hepburn tea party, basically. And the outfits and the conversation. I never thought I'd be saying Mary was like the voice of reason in this conversation, but she was. It's been a turnaround season for her, I would say. But there's just some of these new characters in the mix are so Brittany is so out of it to me that it's just very, very funny. Heather's being like a little extra mean, but I think it's because they went on a big couples trip and she was left out and the whole thing. Like, she's single. I think that's
Right.
she's like really attacking the girl that organized the trip. They're not getting along anyway, but we're still arguing about seats on planes and like not being in first class. It's just
Classic.
Yeah, it's just
that's
like
Real Housewives
it's just,
talk.
and it goes back to what they were saying, because I know Bethany Frankel was in there's been some headlines about what she said about the new RHONY. And I watched episode 2 of RHONY. So, I mean, I'll give that a C. I just think I understand what she's saying with this cast is that the show has changed so much, and Bethany kind of made a follow-up video that she was like, I feel like what I'm saying is kind of getting twisted. She's like, when we made the show, we were like nobodies. It was not, we weren't she was like, I had a studio apartment, like all these things that they were not like these socialites or uber successful or all these things. And now the show has just changed because like RHONY is all these women that are so accomplished, so successful. And I think she was kind of trying to say that sometimes the drama feels like less frivolous and silly because of that, which I do understand what she's saying in that sense. So I see, I'm like, there's not anything that quite that has roped me in fully there. And honestly, that's all I watched. I have not watched a single episode of Love Island Australia this week. Was watching.
Traveling.
Yeah, we were traveling. Joe and I watched some movies. Oh, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine. Forgot we're doing movies. I had not seen it, which is crazy for the Marvel fan that I am. I thought it was good. It was like, it's tough for me because I normally love Ryan Reynolds' whole like shtick in movies and everything. I love the Deadpool character. There was like one too many gimmicks in this movie for me. Like I love a callback. I love like a reference. I love that. But like I felt like the whole movie was built on that. So it was tough because I was watching with Joe, and normally what I love about like a Marvel movie, whatever, you can sit down and maybe if you haven't seen some of the other ones, you can still kind of put the pieces together. And I was watching with Joe, who's not really seen all of them, and he was like, "Friend, I this is making no sense to me." He's like, "I don't understand anything that's happening right now," and I was like, "Honestly, so fair." Even I'm like a little confused. Like there are some things.
Just picturing. I don't know why I'm picturing Joe saying that, and it's cracking me.
No,
up.
he like got up and walked into the bedroom. He was like, "I'm done watching this. Like, you can enjoy the rest. Like, I have no fucking idea what's going on." And yeah, I don't know. It was just like, it was. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I didn't love it. I enjoyed it, but I was like, meh. I mean, I'll give it a B+. Like, it was still entertaining. Normally those movies for me are like A movies, and this one just really wasn't, which was funny because everybody was fucking raving about this movie
maybe
when it came out.
Ryan Reynolds was spending too much time writing scripts for It Ends With Us. And
Right.
He couldn't focus on,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. Okay, that's everything I watched.
Okay, I watched 3-part documentary about the Stanford prison experiment. That's on Hulu, which I've heard about like a million times, but I feel like I'd never actually really knew the hard details. So it was interesting. The first couple episodes were more interesting because it was like about the actual experiment, and then the third one was just kind of like the aftermath and like kind of just how the experiment wasn't true and like everything was kind of manipulated and fake. I'll give it like a C+ though. I kind of got bored.
All right, not that good.
I guess I'd like rather just watch the original stuff. I watched Strange Darling, the movie.
That's the one I talked about. Remember that I was very confused on how to.
I remember I was like, someone watched this that I know.
It was me.
Yeah. Which I'm like, do you like this kind of movie? Because that was like very like intense.
That's
and,
the
like,
exact conversation that we had. That I don't really like this kind of movies.
Because I was like, maybe it was real, but then I'm like, this doesn't seem like a movie. I thought it was really good, but it was very intense. And then there were a lot of times where I thought, oh, I know what's going to happen. And it was partially true, but then I was surprised in another way. I thought it was really good. And the acting and just the way that they told the story and like structured everything. I'll give it an A-. I thought it was good. What did you give it?
I don't remember. I remember
if you were to give something right now.
I don't. I remember.
I remember you being like, I don't even know how to give this a grade.
Yeah, because I was like, this is not my kind of movie, but I know people like it.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, I thought it was good though. Say Nothing, which is that show set in Ireland that I was talking about last time.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Hulu. I watched episodes 2 to 7, so I think I have like 2 or 3 more. Really good. Also, another story where I'm like, obviously I've heard about, the war in Ireland and all that stuff, but like not really in great detail. And yeah, it's crazy. Crazy story. Crazy stuff.
Speaking of Ireland, Bad Sister season 2 is out on Apple.
Oh, I never got into that.
Oh, Sex Lives with College Girls.
It is. Oh my God. Wait,
too.
I watched the first episode.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Was it good?
Yeah, I just love the show.
What's that on?
Yeah.
It's on Max.
Right?
Sorry,
Okay.
add that to mine. I'll give it
episode 1.
I'll give it a B.
Are they all out, or is it
just one?
Oh, it's week by week.
I'll give it a B just purely because there's not much happening yet, but strictly I really just
you were just
like
happy
the show.
to see them.
I was
again?
happy to see them again. Yeah.
And then I just watched the newest Shrinking episode, which still continues just to be solid. I'll give it a B. Like I didn't love this one as much.
It is good. I haven't watched the new one yet.
Yeah. And yeah, that's. I feel like there was a new cameo in this week. Now I'm forgetting who it was, but it was like a well-known actor who is now in the show.
What days did the episodes come out?
I think it come out on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think I've watched one. Was it 6 or 7 that just came out? I don't know.
7 was the one from last week.
Okay, yeah, I've watched through 6.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't. I'm not sure if the cameo's in 7. Then I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, but that's it.
I'll say I'm excited to clock in some TV this week because there's seasons of shows out that new seasons. So Bad Sisters, based on a true story, the one with Kaylee Cuoco.
Wait, that's back?
Yes, season 2. I just butchered the last name, but season 2 of that is now out. The whole thing.
I like that.
So excited to watch. I cannot wait to watch.
Is that the one that's on Peacock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to watch season 2 of that. Shrinking, I have to catch up on. There'll be new episodes of Sex Lives of College Girls. So
will you ever watch Only Murders?
Oh
right now,
crazy.
there's so much to catch up on because I'm still in the middle of the Penguin as well. So
you got to finish the Penguin.
No, I know,
yeah.
I do. The thing with the Penguin is they're feature films.
Yeah,
no, they are.
Trying to hold space for the time to watch. Also, I started rewatching The Sopranos. I forgot about that as well, but I've seen it a million times, so I won't give it a grade. Yeah. It's an A, obviously. You could throw that on there, but I don't want people to think that's my first time.
I'll put
on the graphic.
What season?
But I will say, whenever I do a rewatch, I never really start from season 1 because I've seen it a million times. But I watched the first episode of The Sopranos for the first time since I watched it for the first time because I always rewatch from the middle. What a fantastic first episode of a show.
It is. It is a great
so
episode.
No fucking ZD? Yeah. It's like the lines in the first episode are so good. So yeah. All right.
Claire texted me and She goes, I'm starting One Tree Hill from the beginning for the first time ever. I said, oh my God. I said, I said, enjoy.
I'm so jealous.
You're on. I said, what a ride you're on. For the first time ever to have that experience again, I would give anything.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous of her brain right now.
To never have seen it.
Damn.
She was like, so this guy was really having sex so much, unprotected sex. He's got the kids are in the same grade. I was like, yep.
Oh my God. Wow. So jealous.
I know.
That's incredible.
I know. She's like, she asked me, she's like, oh, are you gonna, like, am I gonna get more answers to like to the timeline here? I was like, oh yeah, just wait.
Let me tell you, they answer everything and add some things that don't need in it.
Just wait. Yeah.
But wow, jealous.
Right?
All right, that's everything we watched.